Hello, everybody. This is Grim Gary with another Let's Draw, number 6 in my Let's Draw series. Today we're gonna do what is called gridding, uh, and I'm gonna cover on a little bit of tracing. Basically, you can see what I have set up here is a cute little kitty, and the grid is on top of that, and it shows you, 1 through 10, A through N. It's basically like playing Battleship if you've ever played Battleship. So, you'd go to G10 and you'd start working on it. First, we're going to go over a little bit of tracing. Tracing is a very easy process. You would take your pen, and a lot of people kind of look down on tracing, but you know what? You don't have to exactly copy what's on there. You can get a basic rough outline of what you're looking at by tracing. So you got his paw, and you really have to kind of pick out the shapes when you're tracing. Just kind of sketch in what you're looking for. There we go. There's his chin, the bell around his collar. I mean, it's even tracing to make it look good could sometimes take a little practice and patience. But anything good in life is going to take both those things, practice and patience. So, I've already messed up. I've been drawing on the stupid tracing paper layer, which is my bad. So we can actually go back. It's such a cute kitty. I don't know how many people out there are cat people. We have a cat. She's basically the queen of the house, but I think that's how it turns out with all cats. Alright, so we have these basic shapes. And you could rough sketch it too. You don't have to be precise when you're first starting out the trace. It's gonna be like anything. Just always do a rough sketch first and refine it as you go. Just, unless you're in some sort of weird time crunch with a drawing, you don't need to be over quick. You don't need to speed through these things, especially the younger people out there. If you're just in school and you just want to learn how to draw, take your time. Don't don't try to think just because you saw me doing something really quick that means that you have to do it. Um, it's just a matter of patience. Eventually, you'll get it. Plus, I've been drawing various things for years and years, and I'm really messing this up. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't ever be afraid to make mistakes. Because you know what? You can erase mistakes when you're drawing, which is why you should always work in pencil. Or if you're just working on a computer, you can erase anything that you want, which is convenient that way. And it's an absolute erase. It doesn't leave any like residual marks or anything like that. My computer's still a little bit laggy here. I'm really getting sick of it. I'd actually tried to record this video a couple times before and have either gotten interrupted or the lag was so bad that I just couldn't go any further. I was getting frustrated, and I know I'm teaching patience here, but when something doesn't work right the way it's supposed to, then you can get frustrated. As long as you don't take your anger out on people or things. I mean, what good was breaking things or being aggressive towards something? Just just deal with it. Just sit back, take a breath, catch your breath, and get back to it. There's no reason to break stuff. I used to have a very very violent anger, especially like after I had quit smoking. I would get agitated real easy, and eventually you just have to calm your mind. Now I did go back to smoking. I don't recommend smoking for anybody. It really destroys you. I used to have a good clean voice. Now listen to me. God, I got this thing going on where it's just eventually it just destroys your voice. So we're coming to the end of the tracing here. Once again, my computer's lagging. So I'm gonna I'm gonna kind of work through it. You just gotta. Basically, what's happening is every minute or so, the computer will start writing stuff to the hard drive through Camtasia, and it will start lagging my computer like nobody's business, and nothing happens, and I lose control over the pressure sensitivity of the pad that I use, and you don't get any sort of fine lines. You just get these big fat things, the fattest version of the pen, just like this, and it really sucks. But we got some cat whiskers. I mean, if you were coloring this picture, you would actually leave those white. You wouldn't draw those in. Alright, so if I remove the picture from the background, you see that got a nice kitty just from tracing the shapes. Just a matter of finding those shapes. And in my last video, we were discussing the basic shapes, the primary shapes. You'll see that a cat's head is a big circle, and there's a box. I know you're sitting there like, hey, you just drew that. Now you're destroying it. I can do it again. There's two boxes here. His nose is a box with kind of a triangle at the bottom. And we got, if you really want to go into it, you can make the eyes into boxes with circles in them. It's easier to do it that way, to take a box and draw a circle in it, basically doing the what I call the wagon wheel method. If you take a square and you cross section it. So, yeah, my computer's lagging again. If you cross section it, it starts to look like the spokes of a wheel. And in each section, you would draw part of the circle, and on the edges, where the cardinal points, is where the circles start meeting, and usually it'll go through about halfway through the diagonal lines. So you'll end up with a circle. That's the best way to do it. And that way, if you were doing perspective, you could take the same thing, cross section, and you could draw your circle inside that, and you can kind of create a rectangular cube here. And you could do the same thing in the background. Remember I told you to draw through in one of my earlier videos? And that's what you would do. Is you would just reproduce what you drew here, slide it over, draw through, and you would have a three-dimensional cylinder. Basically, you would end up with, something like this. And the further you slide this plane over, the further, the wider the cylinder is going to be. So basically, you're looking at a rectangle on this end, and here goes my computer again, and a rectangle on this end. Now, it's going to be a while until I do another video because this is so frustrating. I can't tell you how frustrating this is. I really have to resolve this issue, whether it's getting another hard drive or whatnot. I may do a second hard drive from an older computer that I have just to temporarily record my drawings to, and do it that way. Just not sure yet. I gotta look at it today, see if it actually makes a difference, and we'll go from there. But I just want to produce more videos for you guys. So the second method, we're gonna erase all this, is gridding. As you see, as I told you, I set it up kind of like a battleship grid, and you would take a section like this J10, and you would find where the shapes are in J10. And this technique is good for expanding things. It's not good for creating new types of pictures, although you can modify it. It doesn't really matter. And you could take these. Let's say these were quarter-inch grid squares. You could take it to a picture that has a 2-inch grid square, and then it's like 8 times bigger than the original image you're drawing from. So you can really blow things up, and in reverse, you can also kind of shrink things down. So Yeah, there's the paw here ends to the left of the middle on the top and to the right in the middle on the bottom. It's a little bit ways that the the end that's sticking out the most of the paw is about halfway through. Um, so you just mark that. You're basically doing check lines here. And 3/4 of the way is kind of when the paw sticks out through here. So you would go to your other image. Let's say this N6 is where J10 is on the other image. Just hypothetically, follow along. This is going to be J10 on another image. So I would take it. This is to the right, so you're looking at that marker, and this marker is here. You found the halfway mark over here, and a 3/4 mark. So you would start coming out to this marker, and you'd go up to the top marker, bottom marker, curve around, no further than this marker right here, and the tip of the curve is going to be right in the middle there. And you're going to come around, and you're going to get something that looks pretty much like what you had over here. You don't even need to do this part. It's really just working on the new image and kind of figuring out where all the lines are going to go. And then from there, my computer's lagging again. You're going to have another marker on J9. You can just continue right from where you were on J10 up into J9 to the left. The cat's paw ends right there, which is just a little bit under halfway. So you make a similar marker on the image that you're transferring to. You bring that up, kind of connect these over, and now you're starting to get the same angle of things. I9, the paw continues to come up through here. So you're going to come up here. That's just almost an eighth of the way through, maybe a quarter. Nope, that's about an eighth. So right there. And you don't want to stray too far from your markers. Because if you do, things will start to get out of whack. And this square is just a little hook, comes back up, and that's where it starts meeting the cat's neck, which is right here, and his jaw is right here. So you would take those same markers, H8, which is going to be up here. You're going to find that marker, come up. The chin starts coming through right here into the next grid, and you're going to start to see that you're really reproducing what you have. Again, this is going to be much bigger than this, but they're both going to use the same lines within the same grid. That's what's important. And it's important to keep the ratio and keep track of your markers that you're starting to find where everything is. So like in H5, you'll see that his eye is about 3/4 of the way through. Comes down to just under, it's just below the halfway mark. So you would do that on another grid. Comes out to here and here, and you'll see that these markers are the same. And then you can start drawing the cat's eye once my computer stops lagging. So yeah, I really think it's just a hard drive problem at this point. Maybe I have too much crap on here. I have tons of music, tons of movies. And so that's how easy it is. I hate going on tangents with you guys, but that's me. That's how I roll. Well, yeah, cute kitty. He's gonna stick out his tongue and do something fun with this picture. So he's got big old glasses. Of course, they have to go around the ears. Don't forget that. He's got a pirate beard, a scar. I think next time I'm gonna work on expressions, cartoon expressions. That's a fun subject. I know some people want me to draw like the Minecraft person, and a dragon I think was asked for my last video. I mean, if you guys want to recommend things, and then if people thumb it up, that's what I will draw. I see suggestions in my comments, and that's what I will try to draw. So so if you see a good suggestion and you're looking through the comments, thumb up somebody's drawing, and don't forget to like the video and comment too. It helps support me and keeps me going. I'd like to see more activity. I think I had a couple of videos that, it had 1,000 views. I was like, wow, people really like this kind of thing. And then these past few videos, that kind of died down. I'm only getting like a couple hundred views. So I'm like, I gotta find some way of picking up the pace here. So we'll figure something out, and we'll make something interesting out of this series. Let me know what you want to see out of the series too. Tell your friends, tell other artists that you might know that this video series exists. I mean, it is right now. I've been working on the basic stuff, so let me doodle while I'm talking to you. So I mean, this could appeal to so many people on different levels. If you just want to create stick figures, there was a big rage of stick figure art just in the past few years. Stick figures are just so easy. The basic way people, my computer's lagging again. I'm sorry. I get I get so frustrated. Um, the basic way to people draw stick figures is, of course, they kind of just, bleh. And that works. You know what? That really works. If you were to draw stick figures, oh my god, I'm just getting frustrated at my computer. But don't forget what I said, and we'll get this going. I'll try to improve the quality of my videos. I'll try to add more kind of features to it. And we're going to be exploring more programs soon. I'm going to get out of Corel. I'm going to get out of Manga Studio. We're going to go over to Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, some GIMP. I think somebody had requested how to use GIMP because it is a free program to use. You could download it. It's got similar features to Adobe Photoshop. So it is a handy program. It just got quite a learning curve. But like I said, I do not want to focus on programs. I want to focus on the drawing itself. Because when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter what program you have. If you don't know the fundamentals of drawing, no program is ever going to help you. All right. So we'll conclude this episode, and we'll see you next episode for Cartoon Expressions. Thank you, and have a good day.